Alrighty, welcome to the Three in the Paint podcast. Jeremiah Solomon, Leo Biaz, and Mark Haynes, your three hosts with you yet again for another episode of the Three in the Paint podcast. We have a lot to dive into, so we're going to get right into it. First and foremost, we're a Sacramento-based podcast, and so there's so many rumors going around right now with the Sacramento Kings and the free agent market, trades, point guard, what's happening right now at the Sacramento. So we're gonna dive into that. So the latest reporting, there was some reporting earlier today that Dennis Schroeder was planning on signing with the Kings, almost said it was a done deal. That's like, it's still mostly the scuttlebutt, but now there's some let's see if it's a sign and trade from Malik Monk, or let's see what the market's like. And there's a lot of opinions out there, and I have sources. We all have sources.
Is it a lot of opinions, or is it a lot of the same opinion?
Well, that's the thing. It's a lot of the same opinion. Everyone in Sacramento Kings media and beyond, but mostly Sacramento Kings media based in Sacramento, everyone is saying the same thing. Malik Monk has no trade market, and essentially saying that the value of Malik is akin to Dennis Schroeder. So basically saying that a swap would be good value-wise, and that everyone is overvaluing Malik Monk. That's basically the narrative. Look, and I just want, before we go to everyone, I'm just going to get something off my chest. So I'm already yapping anyway, so I might as well just...
Yap on.
Yeah, I might as well just yap on, right? Two things can be true at the same time. So I don't necessarily buy, and I have it from, people around the situation, not from Malik or anyone like that, but... or the organization itself, the general manager or anything like that. But I don't believe that there's no trade market for Malik Monk. Now, it doesn't have to be the whole league or half the teams in the league that want Malik, but this narrative that there's no market for Malik, I know is just not true. Now, if you talk to enough agents and enough GMs around the league, that would be evident. So, I don't believe the narrative that there's no market for Malik. I also don't believe anything of the sort that somehow a Malik for Dennis Schroeder sign and trade or something like that is an equal value swap. That is just not true. People are undervaluing Malik Monk. I think that if you're in the Kings position, this would be in your best interest to be putting out material that makes Malik's value seem low around the league. Now, is that for sure what's happening? I don't know. I'm not going to say that the Kings are doing that, but I'm just saying this whole situation, there's more than what meets the eye, this whole situation. What are you guys' opinions?
Well, I'm in the process of sending out a tweet.
Uh-oh.
Right. Where
oh boy, live tweeting here in the Three in the Paint podcast.
Someone told KC, which is what I was telling you guys earlier, that you could have gotten Dennis and the pick for just taking on his contract 6 months ago. Like, Golden State traded a guy that was injured, and they traded a second-round pick, but they were trying to give him away. The Nets were forever, and all of a sudden he's valuable, and Malik, who was one of the hottest free agents in a bad free agent market, now his value has plummeted, and he has no market? How does that even work? Like, that's pretty insane to me.
Yeah, like I said, I think two things can be true at the same time. I don't think that people around the league have to be clamoring that they want Malik, but this narrative that
we're talking about Dennis Schroeder, though.
Well, I know, and we're also talking about the guy.
We're
also talking about
a journeyman has been
rumors aside, we're also we need to put some respect on Malik Monk's name.
Exactly. The heart and soul of
We're talking about
team.
the guy who should have won the Sixth Man of the Year 2 seasons
twice.
ago. No disrespect to Naz Reid. He was almost as deserving as Malik.
Who won it the other year? It was Nas, and then before it was
Celtics guy.
No, Celtics was this year.
Peyton Pritchard was
this year.
Yeah. But anyways, not to get off topic.
Yeah.
We're talking about the perennial, or should have been Sixth Man of the Year a couple seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
I understand fit. People talk about fit. People talk about, what does Scott Perry want to do with this team? And I understand all those perspectives. But at the end of the day, you also have to look at value, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's why everyone ridiculed the Luka trade so much. Because it's like, sure, Anthony Davis might fit what Nico Harrison and the Mavs want to do. But value-wise, you're taking an aging big man with health concerns for in his prime, one of the better point guards of this generation in Luka Doncic. So it's like this doesn't all just exist in a bubble. Like you have to look at it from a value perspective.
Right.
And even if you need to have some pause before you make a move, the disrespect on Malik and all these rumors is just insane, in my opinion. But what do you think, Mark?
Yeah, no, and like, we talked about it a little bit earlier or whatever. Like when you look at the roster and what's, available to move around and play with right now, Malik is the only thing that kind of makes sense to do anything with. And it's not because, he's a bad player, we need to get rid of him. But it's like you're going to have it's going to be hard to get rid of, Levine's contract, DeMar, Keegan's not under, he's in, what is he going to get paid? You still got decisions to make with Keegan. Sabonis isn't going anywhere or whatever. So what can you do to change this roster? And, Scott did a good job during the draft to get into the first round without, losing an asset. But even when you thought, like, before that happened, before knowing, giving away that unprotected pick could get you into the first round.
Right.
You would think in order to do that, you would have had to give up a Malik or somebody of value or whatever. And he was able to do it without giving any much value at that point. But to say Malik doesn't have any value, it's absurd.
Yeah, and I know people will listen to this and, not everyone, because I think it's very reasonable. I think we're all being very reasonable here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying people's sourced material is incorrect entirely. Like, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is there's always a narrative to every situation, and narratives are built by the parties involved. And in this case, the parties involved are the Sacramento Kings and Malik Monk and then the rest of the NBA. And I believe a narrative is being built partially using the media to say something about a player that may or may not be true. Now, I don't want to...
I just said that on Twitter.
Okay, well,
I said too many people are saying the same things, exactly the same
but
things.
Again, that doesn't make it
and it's
false.
A very small market in Sacramento.
What I'm saying is it doesn't make it false, and I'm not trying to call anyone out. People have lots of sources. People are more sourced than me on this particular matter. But what I'm saying is people are just taking, like, I'm just scrolling Twitter and everyone's saying the same. There's a couple people on X, a couple prominent Sacramento media members that are saying something contrary, but so many people are just saying the same thing. And the fact that no one's taking pause of the actual stock in the situation, in my opinion, is just, I don't understand it. And again, the idea somehow that no teams want Malik Monk or that the price or the value of him is really low is it's perplexing to me. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense when the team that currently has Malik Monk is basically doing anything in their power to get some sort of rotational point guard. Mm-hmm. And Malik has shown he can play that role. Now, he didn't look great in that role with the Kings last year in the starting capacity, but I think there's so much more to this situation than what is being reported. And that's essentially what I wanted to say.
Wait. What's crazy is that before today, everybody, Carmichael, Dave, all these media pundits were literally saying the only valuable asset on the roster is Malik Monk. The only trade, literally everybody was saying the same thing. And all of a sudden today, he has no trade market.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
What?
This is what I'm saying.
Crash out then.
Well, this is what Leo, this is a point I made off air. Domantas Sabonis doesn't have a market. DeMar DeRozan doesn't have a market, or else you would have traded him to the Heat for the 20th pick. Zach LaVine doesn't have a market. He makes way too much money. These aren't saying anything bad about these players. Yeah. It's the situation. Domantas Sabonis makes $40 million. LaVine makes $50 million.
Unmovable objects.
DeMar, these are the contracts with no value. Mm-hmm. Again, not a slight on any of these players, but these are the contracts with no value. You're telling me that the one guy involved in the trade rumors is the guy with no value? That doesn't make sense. So
that was today, by the way, because before today, he was the only guy that was movable.
That's largely my beef with this whole situation. And
it lasts like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, it lasts 2-3 hours, by the way.
Why is that? I wonder. Man, it's almost like Anyway, spin and narratives exist.
Because they're trying to get Russell Westbrook. They're trying to save some money.
The Brody.
And that's the reality. They're trying to run a team that maybe would have worked back in 2000, but it's 2025, and this team has no spacing. A team with DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook and Dennis and Domas.
You know,
are you
funny?
serious?
I was seeing people that was it's slightly off topic but on topic. But when Lonzo got traded to Cleveland or whatever, and people was like, "Oh, well, he could have been in Sacramento."
Yeah.
And it's like, so everybody, they really, really wanted the Chicago Bulls from 5 years ago now in Sacramento.
Yeah, the West Coast Bulls or whatever they were
It's
called.
like, sheesh, man.
Yeah. Look, Scott Perry inherited a mess. Like, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the way the draft pick situation was, I mean, Monty did kind of help with that towards the end, but he had to give up De'Aaron Fox. So it's like, you know, like the way the draft compensation was, their draft pick situation was, trading your franchise piece. You know, even most recently, not extending Keon Ellis. I understand why this is all taking place. You know, you want that flexibility, and you know you can still extend him, or sign him to a new deal, but you might want to wait. Like, I understand these moves, and I'm not harping on Scott Perry. I'm trying not to harp on the Sacramento media. Like, I'm not saying anyone's lying. I'm not saying anyone's, you know, full of it. I'm just saying the fans and the media and everyone around the organization needs to pump their brakes a little bit and look at the second and third level of what's going on here. Now, the Kings very well might, you know, the deal for Dennis Schroeder and Malik Monk signing here, that this very well might be basically done. But the people saying that this is a good deal and Dennis has got great game, and like, I don't think that's very wise of some people to be saying, because we've seen what teams have valued in Dennis over the last few years. I mean, Dennis himself was even saying last season that he feels like he was getting traded all over the league, and it was very frustrating for him. Well, that doesn't really happen with important pieces to your roster. So, again, not trying to hate on Dennis or anything of the sort. I'm just calling it like I see it.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that for me that makes sense is if this is we're not building for this season, which I don't think that's what Scott Perry is doing. I don't think it's a this season thing.
I agree, yeah.
I have no idea what the plan is as far as, you know, the future, but I do think, you know, when you look at it, like you said, he inherited, you know, a mess, you know, so to say. But you know, this is like, it looks like a situation where you gotta burn it down to build it back up, or whatever, and that might be what we're seeing. But maybe they're trying to make it look a little cuter. But
yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like Malik is one of their only tradable assets that they have, and everything surrounding this, you know, makes that seem even more likely.
Now you're getting a starting point guard for a 6-man.
Oh, is it done?
No, I'm just saying like that.
Who said that?
KC is saying that now you're getting a starting point guard in Dennis for a 6-man.
I mean, oh no, but that
starting point guard.
But I mean, look, that can be a perspective that you hold. I don't think that's crazy. Like,
that wasn't the perspective.
But Dennis probably will start
before.
And Malik,
2 weeks ago, that was not the perspective. 2 weeks ago, I promise you that.
Well, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. But what I'm saying,
I know that to be true.
Yeah, I know. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Hours.
A few hours. Look, I'm not. I try to be Switzerland in some of these discussions. I'm not trying to say that look, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. What's happening in Sacramento is a mess. Scott Perry inherited it. This is not. Scott Perry's got a lot to work through. I think Kings fans should let Scott cook a little bit, see how the roster takes shape as we head towards the beginning of next season. But I encourage you guys to read between the lines. That is my big thing. Read between the lines. What do you got, Mark Haynes?
No, this is just gonna be a show where
I'm just talking.
Like,
I'm just We're all on our phones.
We're all on the phone. We're trying to look down.
You know, we're trying to confirm
y'all seeing this live. You know, that's what
is
today's episode is about. It's free agency.
Yeah, this is Sacramento Kings free agency.
So forgive us if we're not as entertaining as normal.
Yeah. But all right, I mean, we got to move on to another topic though, guys. So I know we're all in these rumors, but Some of it can wait just a little bit because we have to get into another topic. I want to talk about LeBron James and opting into his deal for $53 million. And there's rumors surrounding him. People say that LeBron wants to, I apologize for whoever's work this is, but there's someone reported that LeBron wants to essentially see what the Lakers do in the next couple weeks before he makes his decision on if he really wants to stay in Los Angeles or if he's going to look for a trade elsewhere. Now, look, LeBron's never really been that guy. Contrary to all the Jordan stans, LeBron's really never been that guy to be like, I want out. That's not really how he operates. But, I mean, this is maybe one of his last years in the league. Maybe he wants to chase that last chip with another team. What do you guys think about everything surrounding LeBron? Is he just wanting the money at this point and he's kind of waving the white flag in terms of another chip? And that's why he opted into that 50 mil, or is he somehow playing chess and trying to make his way to another team?
Playing chess and just and just waiting. I'm not in the club of haters of he's trying to have this farewell tour and just make money. I'm like, I still think he wants to win, and he's still one of the best players in the NBA.
But you're not gonna. But LeBron James, in his current form, making $53 million a year is not.
Oh, it's a lot.
It's too much.
It's too much. But
to be on a roster that can really compete.
But it's LeBron James, and he generates any team billions.
Maybe he's.
I'm not saying LeBron is not valuable.
Maybe he's coming to Sacramento.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Breaking news.
He want to finish his career where he started it.
There you go.
Yeah,
first game ever.
That's true.
Last game ever.
Last game, first and last.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but LeBron. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, LeBron and the way he leaks things. He's always been so tactful about it, and so I don't know. I mean, I think LeBron is probably going to stay in LA. I mean, he's got his son playing there with him, and I think he loves LA. I think he wants to retire there. I think he wants to be close to Las Vegas for the expansion team. I don't think he has any plans of wanting to move away from Los Angeles. Now, of course, LeBron James is, basically a billionaire. So that's not to say he can't go to another team for a year and then obviously come back to LA when he retires. But I don't think LeBron wants to go anywhere.
I don't think so. I think it's all like T.I. said, if it ain't about the money, I think that's what Bron is doing right now. He's getting his money. He deserves it. The man's 46 years old, still playing at a high level. I think he'll. I don't think he's going anywhere. Just like his game isn't going anywhere. But
that's true. Father Time has not caught up to Sir LeBron James.
He's still, 53 is a lot, but he's still so good.
He's
I know
worth it.
I think he's a top 10 player in the league.
Like usually when a guy's in their 40s or 20 years in, you're paying them back. You give them
no one makes it this far anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like usually you're paying them back in their mid-30s,
And they're chilling. They're giving you 26 minutes a game. This dude is playing. He could give you 40 minutes a night still.
Okay, real quick. I'm curious to see what Gilbert Arenas had to say about Jake LaRavia. This is kind of Kings, Lakers.
Wait, what are we doing here?
I think he's happy.
The nerve of this post saying breaking news. Breaking news is if we sign Kuminga. That's breaking news. If we sign Ayton, who just hit the market, breaking news.
That's wrong.
Look, turn off Gilbert. Turn off Gilbert.
That's funny.
I love Gilbert, but this X has been disrespecting Jake LaRavia all day long. Like,
that ain't breaking news.
6 points. 6 points.
Look, let's be honest. Though, Jake LaRavia isn't.
He's a hooper.
Yeah,
he's better than Aiden.
Well, okay, yeah, I mean, as is most of the league, but
Aiden was making how much?
Too much.
I mean,
too much. Yeah, too much.
And he's upset about signing a rotational piece that the Lakers desperately need, by the way.
Yeah, and we're gonna make a video coming up here in a bit on the whole Malik Beasley situation. We don't know enough yet about how that's going to transpire to, I think, really, really talk on it. I mean, we can, there's some of those clips though, man. Holy, he's just a cone, bro. He's just standing out there.
You can do that with a lot of players.
He's just standing there.
Right.
Yeah, but some of those clips,
we can make a compilation of a lot of players,
those clips,
including LeBron.
Halliburton points to the floor and he just stands there and lets him run by. Like, some of these clips are tough. But we'll make a video on that in the future. But we're going to get into our buy or sell segment here to wrap up the show. I'll go first. I have a sell. It surrounds the NBA. What are we doing with this NBA draft coverage, with the trades and the hats? This is ridiculous. Look, I'm all for the event to be televised. It should be. It should be a televised event. Great day for all these guys getting drafted, their families. But what are we doing? Not like this is 2025. Like, these trades and things are happening in real time. And the fact that the league just kind of acts like they don't happen when, like, some guy comes to the podium and 10 minutes earlier, Shams tweeted, oh, by the way, this pick is going to Phoenix in this swap. And then the NBA comes out and like,
no,
drafting this pick with the Minnesota pick. It's like, no, like, they need to put on the hat of the team. They're actually going to. This stuff needs. We have the technology to make this quicker, right? So that's one part. But these hats, bro, these hats are atrocious. Like, you could get better hats from Temu and buying them in bulk. Like, these hats were a disgrace. We have to get these guys with better hats.
People didn't like the championship hats either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think many people saw the championship hats. Not a lot of people cared, but some people did, like Mr. OKC and 5.
That's who I'm buying, because we go act like we go have a whole episode and not talk about my prediction. I told all y'all.
I told you
y'all
that.
too. Last year,
I think we all picked OKC.
OKC was winning. The dog. My man J Dub did it with a broke wrist. He had one hand out there.
Yeah.
OKC, man. I'm buying. Only thing I'm selling is that I didn't get an invite to the parade, but I was there in spirit. But
you had hopped on the PJ, right? Flew down there.
I missed it. I was late. You know I'm always late, so I missed my. I appreciate it though.
This is very true.
That's what I'm buying. Congratulations to
Congratulations
OKC.
to the Thunder, Oklahoma City. Congratulations, Leo. What is your buy or sell?
Baseball. There was a play today. Giants and Diamondbacks. Giants had a home run.
Christian Koss in right field?
Yeah, and I'm like,
they got that
one
one wrong.
Not a home run.
Yeah, they got that wrong.
How is that not a home run?
It should
hit the
like,
wall or something?
Yeah, like
no,
these,
a fan
these
caught
umpires.
it. Oh. Yeah,
these umpires. What does that mean? Selling? I'm selling how dumb these umpires are.
Well, their jobs are about to go away. The automatic ball strike system's coming to the league next year.
Oh boy,
that's insane.
Close it to automation for all sports. Yeah. It's gonna start with baseball, baby. That's America's crazy. Pastime. Let's go. I love it.
Baseball's on the up, too. Let's be honest.
I love it.
A lot of y'all might have forgotten about it, but baseball's on the up. We got exciting players like Ronald Acuna Jr., Ellie De La Cruz.
What about the A's? Because y'all got the A's colors right there.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the gold just because it matches the shirt, but, you know.
And I love the A's, but their manager is weak.
Oh, no. No. You can't be saying this, bro.
Going back to...
Mark, hold on. Mark Kutze is not a weak manager. He's just in a really tough spot. He's managing a team in a temporary AAA stadium.
So is it Sacramento just in general?
No, it's not. It's just, it's these owners and, you know, there's so much. The show's done. This show's over. I'm not going to let you finish. I'm not going to let you. You called Mark Kotze weak. You're not allowed to speak anymore on this show.
I like him.
What do you mean you like him? You just said he's weak, and then on the show last week you said he's a weak-ass manager.
I like him.
He said Sabonis wasn't strong either.
Yeah, this guy. Sabonis is in Singapore or something. You guys seen all these Instagram photos? He's living the high life.
A's need some work. And they need
they need some work. They have no bullpen, and their ace Luis Severino says he won't pitch. He can't pitch in Sacramento, and he says everyone talks about it. It's like, come on, man.
He's one of the best away pitchers.
Like, what are we doing? Do you need a personal? Do you need a personal air conditioner on the mound or something? Like, what are we talking about? This is baseball. It's 60 feet 6 inches.
It is hot in Sacramento, though. It's hot.
Well, yeah,
but it's hotter in LA.
Complaining about everything, man.
Wait, is it not hotter in LA though?
Hotter?
Yeah.
Nah.
LA's beautiful weather in the summer.
Yes.
LA is not hotter?
Los Angeles?
It's not in the hundreds?
Well, it can be inland.
Well, not like here.
But not like here.
It's definitely not. It's definitely.
Where did bro? You live
It's not in the hundreds?
It can be inland.
So you're saying it's not hot?
No, it can be hot. But
no,
it's hotter here.
It's hot though.
It's hotter here.
Once it's over 100, it's just hot.
Yeah, but it's hotter here. Okay, that's my only point. Anyways, this is a 3 in the Paint podcast. I'm Jeremiah Solomon. Since that's Leo
next
Biaz,
episode.
Unhinged Leo Biaz. This is Mark Haynes. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more soon.